you are and what is the type of emergency they can rush, support to you in a commando style. Whole thing, the quality of the service that you provide, whatever sector that you choose, people should say, wow, this is fantastic. If you can come close to that, market is just desperate for any services. So it's not difficult to come to that service. It may be very difficult to improve on the service that Americans give or Switzerland people give in emergency service. But in a country like India, where almost there is no service, a good, simple, good service itself is likely to qualify for a miraculous service. So you have great opportunities, much more easy to do this service in India. So keep the quality of the service as the most important thing that you weave around that, structure your costs around that, your finance raising around that, your process for delivering that high quality service in mind. This is the only thing I kept in mind and said the technology has to be top. The training that is required for emergency medical technicians has to be top. And our interaction with the public, with them, including media, the government, everything has to be top class, honest and top class. That's what helped us. Today, I was told we saved 1.5 million lives. A few months ago, it was announced. Since we started the service in 2005, it's been about 11 to 12 years. And it's been a great journey, and we'll talk about that in individual classes. Thank you.
So, good afternoon to all of you. Let me start my brief talk with a question. How many of you have experienced hunger? Can you raise your hand? Some part of the day, sometime last 1 month, okay? All of us, right? Now, for all of us here, when we are hungry, either we have resources to buy food or we have someone to cook nice food at home, okay? Or we just reach out to food. But there are millions of children in this great country who go to bed hungry every day, and thereby missing out on benefits of education. And that's where my organization comes into play. My organization name is Akshaya Patra. Akshaya Patra, in the scriptures, especially in Mahabharata, there is a mention of Akshaya Patra. It's a vessel which can give unlimited food. So till the child says enough, we feed the child. In fact, many of them bring their small siblings also to eat a meal. We do this program, Akshaya Patra, in government schools, which have secular policy of admission. We started in Bangalore in the year 2000. We just started. We thought that children need good food, good health to come and learn. And the visionary seed of Akshaya Patra is actually a bit spiritual. About 30 years earlier, before Akshaya Patra started, Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder, Acharya, and a great Vaishnava saint and founder of ISKCON, he was in a place called Mayapur near Calcutta. And there was a festival in the temple, and after the festival, he was resting in his apartment. And he heard cries of children. And when he opened the window, he saw street children fighting with stray dogs for leftover scraps of food. And tears rolled down from his eyes, and he said that wherever the Supreme Father is there, his children should not go hungry. And he gave a mandate in a 10-mile radius of a Krishna temple, nobody should go hungry. And 30 years later, Akshaya Patra was born from the visionary seed as a secular entity from the ISKCON temple, Krishna temple in Bangalore. But we ensured that the program is very secular in nature. That's the reason we do this program in government schools. So that's how we started. We started with just 1,500 children and 5 schools in Bangalore, then and now the Silicon Valley of India. So every day the food used to go to these 5 schools, and we used to send khichdi at those times. And the consumption went up like anything. No? Children were eating good meal, and we were giving food to these 5 schools. And after few days, the consumption dropped drastically. And we were wondering what's happening. Then when we went and investigated, we found out we were sending khichdi every day. And children of Bangalore don't eat khichdi every day. They want to eat sambar, rice, vegetable. That gave us an insight that just because these are children, needy children, we can't give them what we want to give. In my lingo, I will call them McDonaldization of Akshaya Patra. We don't do McDonaldization of Akshaya Patra. Whatever these children need, that's what is being provided. So then we started giving them local palatal food. And then the nearby school principals, they started asking, why are you giving food in only these 5 schools? Why not our school? And we didn't have money, so we started collecting applications. And one day wisdom dawned on us, and we opened the file, and we found there was a request for 100,000 children in Bangalore, 100,000 government school children about 17 years back. That gave us an insight that we need to use technology to solve this problem with scale. As Dr. Varanasi was mentioning, anything in India, you need to solve it with scale. So usage of technology is something. So we set up India's first centralized kitchen infrastructure in the not-for-profit sector in Bangalore. And then we started expanding the program. We are a public-private partnership. So you can see gray hair, right? It's all because of public-private partnership. But
all of us, except Ashok. Ashok seems to have tackled this one.
But let me tell you, we have had great experience. One of the big reasons for success of Akshaya Patra. So today we are covering about 1.6 million children every day. So it is like, assume you have attended a marriage of 1,000 people, where 1,000 people have come. What do you remember in a marriage? Tell me. You remember food, right? So it's like doing 1,600 marriages every day, assuming 1,000 people come for each marriage concurrently. Right? So there are 750 vehicles which carry food, and we have large cauldrons which prepare food. So in about 6 to 7 hours time, 16 lakh children, 1.6 million children are fed across the country in about 30 locations and 12 states. We cover about 1% of, little over 1% of India's school-going children population, which is about 110 million children. We do about 1.6 million children. So it's like a company which has a market share of 1.5% and is the world's largest firm. So we are in a very unique position that way. Come again? McDonald's equivalent? Okay. So now we were predominantly a South-based NGO. What we did in Akshaya Patra is we already have missionaries working. So there are about 100 missionaries working. So Akshaya was a classic example of missionary spirit and professionalism, both of them coming together to deliver change and to create transformative impact. Now when we went to North, thanks Ashok for reminding me, the North Indian children don't eat rice. And with rolling pin, you can't make, I know in India everything is scale, 200,000 children, 400,000 children. So in North, when we went, we saw that there are about 100,000 children in Mathura, and if each of them eat 2 rotis, you have to make 200,000 rotis every day. Not every day, in that span of 6 hours. Okay? So what we did, we worked with a Sardar in Jalandhar. He was an 8th grader. Okay? What I'm trying to say here is how frugal innovation plays an important role in not-for-profits. So this Sardar was having a papad making machine. He was making about 1,000 papads per hour. So we worked with him and created a machine which can make 10,000 rotis per hour. Of course, papads are not cooked, so we created a machine. So what we did, we simulated what a mother will make. Fulkas, how the mother makes, same thing in a machine format. So a mesh conveyor, roti making machine, gas fired, So it flips when it goes in the next cycle. So, and then it puffs up and you get very hot, fluffy fulkas, right? And then we further innovated this machine by adding 30% more and created 4 times more capacity and created a machine which can make 40,000 rotis per hour. And today we have a machine which can make 60,000 rotis per hour. Okay? And everything done in India. So all problems your country faces can be solved within India.
Absolutely.
Okay? You don't have to go out anywhere. Okay? Everything can be solved in our country. Okay? What we need is just drive and passion and conviction that you can solve this problem. Then we also created the world's largest kitchen in Hubli, which has a capacity to feed 250,000 children in a span of 6 hours. Of course, we don't use the capacity fully. We do about 1.8 lakh children every day. Now, the next goal of Akshaya Patra is to reach out to 5 million children by 2020. It's like tripling in the next 3 years. I don't know whether we'll reach there, but we have great ambitions to be there because the scale is so huge. Another thing is we also want to show to the world that here is a model which is replicable and scalable. So as a not-for-profit, these two are very important. And as far as Akshaya Patra's key ingredients for success, if you see, one is missionary spirit and professionalism. Typically when you see a startup company, you'll see a lot of missionary spirit. You won't have professionalism. Or when you see a large organization, you'll see a lot of professionalism but no missionary spirit. So Akshaya was a combination of missionary spirit and professionalism. That's number one. Second, in the last 12 years of me being here, I realized that simplicity is key to scaling up. If you're simple process, simple systems, you can scale up.